back to Goldie Gardening. Today I'm going to show you how to repot basil and coriander. If you'd like to learn how to get more out of your herb garden, please keep watching. As you can see, I have two basil plants that I've just placed into a spare pot just to make sure that they fit and there's sufficient room for them to grow. You want to make sure that the pots that you use have drainage, because having free root run within the plant and excellent drainage will ensure that you get the most out of your herbs. Alright, and we're going to start filling up our spare pot with some soil, and we're just going to place our plants on top of the soil in the pot just to make sure that it is at the right depth. You don't want it to be sunk too low into the pot or too high. You want it to be just at the right height, and I feel that we have that now with the basil. So we're going to go ahead and start rolling very gently with our hands the basil plants just to loosen them from the pot, and then we're going to go and turn the pot upside down and out comes our plants. So we're going to go ahead and pop both plants into the pot. I'm not going to tease the roots as they're very young plants, they're very delicate roots, so I don't want to damage any of that root structure, so I will leave them intact. And we're just making sure that they're sitting flush into that pot. And I'm very happy now with how it looks, so I'm going to go ahead and start scooping in some soil. And my trick for putting in the soil is after you put in a handful, you can just shake the pot and that will evenly distribute the soil throughout the pot. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep making sure that I have enough soil in there and shaking the pot. Now once you have filled the pot to probably about an inch or so below the top, you want to start gently with your hand, not punching but pressing down so that you remove any air particles from the soil mixture. You want the whole surface to be completely flat and even. So I'm just shaking it a little bit more and pressing down just to make sure it's completely flat. I think I'm pretty happy now with how it looks, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it to the side just for now, and I'm going to look at my coriander now. So with the coriander, we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to start filling this spare pot. Just a side note, you probably want to clean the pot, if not sterilize it before you repot. Honestly, I'm just lazy. I never bother. I've never had an issue with it, but it's better practice to get in the habit of cleaning your pots properly before you reuse them. So we're just going to fill up that pot with some soil. I'm just going to grab my coriander plant and I'm going to make sure that it's at an appropriate height. Pretty happy with how it's sitting, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the coriander from the pot just as I did with the basil, just gently rolling. Don't need to go too crazy, just be very careful. They're very delicate little plants at this stage. I'm also not going to tease the roots because they are young plants and I don't want to cause too much damage to the plant. Think of it as you're a doctor and you're performing a heart surgery. You know, the longer the plant has to be out of its pot and mucked around with, the more chance of complications. I don't want anything to go wrong with my little patient plant, so we're going to go ahead and do the same thing as we did with the basil. We're just going to start packing in some more of that soil and we're going to sort of shake it around just so that it's evenly distributed, and we're going to start patting it down just to make sure that any air particles are removed from the soil. And I'm pretty happy with how that looks, so what we're going to do next is water the plants. So we want to make sure that we don't soak the plants. We don't want to put too much water on. We just want to make sure that they have enough so that the soil can start clumping up together. And now the plants, both basil and coriander, require a full sun position. So I have a north facing balcony where I've put both of my plants just on a little stool here so that they can soak in all that beautiful sun, and that will help them recover. They're looking a little limp, and don't be like deterred if your plants look like this. They've just gone through a pretty major transplant operation, so they'll look like this for a few days, but they'll bounce back. Just make sure to keep them watered and in the full sun position. That's most important. They need that sunlight. And and that's pretty much it. It's very, very simple. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty and get into it. You will have beautiful herbs to last you for months upon months, and you'll save a lot of money than buying them from the store when they're cut. So give this a go. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section down below. I'd be most happy to answer them for you. And if you don't mind, just hit that like button just to let me know that this video was helpful. And if you'd like to see further gardening videos, don't forget to subscribe. I'd love for you to join the Goldie Gardening channel. Okay guys, until next time, I hope you have the most fun you can possibly have with your gardening, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now guys.